It's available online. Thank you for setting that recording up. And a reminder, all of our videos are available usually the next day on our YouTube channel, and it's the Rec Innovation Lab on YouTube. And we're going to be sending out to all of you a survey in the middle of the workshop. And if you could just give us some feedback, we're just always trying to make these better for you and relevant to what you need. And other than that, I don't think there's any other housekeeping items that we have from the rec side. Team, anything I'm missing?
Nope, I think we're good. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Angela. All right, then we can get started. So Max, if you'd like to, do you have any slides you want to share, or do you want to just walk us through this?
Yeah, I'll totally walk you through it. Hello, my name is Max, as previously mentioned.
Oh yeah, I didn't really introduce you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's just like the little like muscle memory thing that I go through whenever I'm presenting to a new thing. But yeah, my name's Max. I run a little show on the internet called EntrepreNerd, where I build tiny little companies on a live stream. And that's basically what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to walk through. We're going to come up with an idea. I have a bunch of ideas like on my little idea sheet that we can work with if nobody else has one. But we're going to try to brainstorm something fun. We're going to agree on building some cool thing, some startup concept. And then we're going to go and actually like try to prototype that, right? Get something out and done by the end of this session. I'm going to show you the whole thing. I'm going to share my screen through the whole thing to try to give like the most realistic walkthrough of entrepreneurship that I possibly can. So we're building something live, right? We're going to try to come up with it. And I'm probably going to pursue that startup or somebody else can totally take it. I'm not going to I don't want to steal it from you if you're really interested in it. But we'll have something by the end, right? And we're going to go through the entire process of prototyping, marketing, everything we possibly can jam into a 1 hour little slot. But I build things. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love questions. If you have any questions, yell at me in the chat box or interrupt me over chat. Anything works.
Yeah, you're actually one of the only presenters who's really good at monitoring the chat and answering the questions in the chat. But those of you, if you also want to ask a question out loud, I encourage you to do that too. Just make sure that if you're not asking a question, we do ask that you keep your microphones and your cameras just off.
Yeah, sweet, awesome. Yeah, but either works. If you want to interrupt me, I talk a little fast if you can't already tell, but. If you want to interrupt me over voice, that works totally fine. Chat also works great. I will see your message. I will get to it. I love questions. I think it makes it a whole lot more engaging and personal for everybody in the call. Cool. Sweet.
Let's do it.
So let's begin. I have a whole bunch of different little ideas that I can go over right now. I'm going to share my little screen in a second, and I'm going to show you a bunch of ideas that I've been like looking forward to building or have thought about building on my show or for future live builds. But if anybody is building a thing or wants to build a thing in the future or has some dumb, silly little idea, please drop it in the chat or feel free to jump in or raise your hand, and I would love to hear from you. Yeah, what's up, Benjamin? What you got?
Hi, Max. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I have an idea for something that moves water over a curb.
Okay, so a physical little thing.
Siphon. So a little siphon that automatically moves water over a curb.
Okay, super cool.
Yeah, and I know Benjamin's definitely got that engineering, personality and background. But I'm assuming you're going to want to keep looking for ideas that might be more less tangible, more tech.
Typically, yeah. So a bit more context. I like that a lot, Benjamin. And if nobody else has any ideas and people are down for that, I would absolutely love to. Typically. The way that I get things out super quickly, and most of the ideas you'll see in a second when I share my screen, most of the ideas that I have are typically digital, right? Or at least there is a digital version of them that we can build. If you have some larger ideas, so most of what I do in my show, let me give you a little bit more context. Most of what I do in my show is we come up with some little thing like little app or a little website that I can put up in a day, right? I've gotten really good at building websites or apps and things like that just by practicing different tools on the internet. I don't program anything at all. We're not going to get into programming here whatsoever. We're just going to build something using existing tool sets. So if I can build it, I build it, right? If I can build it really quickly and get it out there, I do. Another thing that I do that's really, really powerful is if there is a larger process to getting that product out, right? So for instance, Benjamin's product, it is a physical product, right? He said it is a siphon to get water over a curb, right? So maybe to prevent flooding, whatever that might be, right? Whatever problem that solves. That is a physical product, right? I'm not going to be able to in an hour go to Home Depot, go to a hardware store, like prototype something together, like 3D print. I'm not going to be able to do that unless I have maybe a 3D printer or something along those lines, right? That's going to be very difficult for me to just quickly get out there. So what I'm going to do instead, and this might be what we end up doing, is I'm going to make a website for it, pretend it exists on the internet, and try to get feedback and customers early on. And I've done whole presentations on this before. It's a really, really powerful, like, test your startup methodology, but it still counts as a prototype because people might even try to buy it on your website, right? And then you're finding customers, and that's all we need to do. We need to find customers as soon as quickly.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but just to interject one little thing here. This is the whole Pretendo type model that we like to use to see if validate our assumptions, see if people actually want what we're selling. So yeah, I'd love to come up with a tech idea. It's something that we could actually build out the idea itself. If we can, maybe we can get some more ideas from the audience.
Absolutely, yeah. Anthony just said, what platform do you live stream on? I live stream on Twitch, and I'll put my Twitch at the end, or if you have to leave early, just let me know and I can pop it in the chat early. But let me share my screen and I'll show you some of my little techie ideas, and we can see if anybody's interested in them. Let me open this up so I can see everybody's wonderful faces. Let me open up chat as well. This is my personal little board, so there's going to be some weird stuff. Just ignore it. But let's see what we got. This over there. Okay, cool. Now I can see the chat. Everything's good. So the last one that we did, and Tanya was super excited about this, and I am going to build this, Tanya. I have just been, oh my gosh, buried in freelance work lately.
Yeah, I love that idea. The last one we made. But.
Yeah. The last one we made was basically a service for entrepreneurship centers, like the Rec, right? Where I go to different entrepreneurship centers and I build a tool to help students find internships and startups, right? It would just be like a larger platform, very specifically for entrepreneurially interested students to find very specific niche internships at local startups that are actually solid, right? That actually genuinely teach you. It's not just like getting coffee or something like that. That would be really powerful. I did a lot of those internships when I was in college. They were really, really helpful for me. A lot of my peers did them, but it's very rare to see entrepreneurship centers or entrepreneurship programs that have their own thing to help students find internships. So I thought, okay, that sounds like a problem. Let's go and build it. And so we built a little job board. It was really cool. It was awesome. Did I have it labeled here? I think current prototype was this. We built a little job board. Oh, I just think I changed the name of it so the link doesn't work anymore. But it's on a little tool called Software. It's basically a simple little job board website where I can quickly add and compare things, and people can contact companies. Yeah. That was the last thing we built, and we had a lot of fun with that. A couple of other ones that I was building recently was, and I would love to know if anybody is interested in this. There was a car charge cost calculator, very simple little dumb tool, but it would be interesting as like a sales kind of tool. So like, let's say you create a website that lets you quickly calculate how much it costs to fill up your electric car, like fill up, right? So it's not as much as, filling up a gas tank, but how much does it cost to fill up a Tesla? And that depends on the time of day. It depends on where you live and how much energy costs in your state or your local town. It depends on the car model and how much it can take. And so just creating a little calculator online, a little kind of tool for that, very simple, but maybe we could turn that into a business, right? Because maybe it helps people decide what car to get. And then maybe we could be an affiliate website for buying cars, maybe partner with something like Carvana. I don't know. Weird little idea, very niche, but kind of fun. Benjamin says something that decides whether objects you use are obsolete in your life using data you input and machine learning. A clean slate object app. Ooh, that's very interesting, Benjamin. So something like it would be kind of like a form to help you qualify whether or not something is useful in your life. Interesting. It's a bit organic. I like it a lot. It's kind of like, it's got like it's amorphous. So like, I like things that are niche and very specific, and that's a very, very general kind of thing. Can you think of maybe something more specific, like a very specific type of item that you're dealing with, or something a little bit more niche that we could go into? That would help it a lot. Yeah,
just things in your room. just things in your room.
Okay, interesting. I like that. Let me start a little notepad.
I see a hand up from Alexandria.
Yeah, Alexandria, what do you got?
Hi. So what about if it's not necessarily something you could create an entire business off of, but more so like it would help make an existing type of business better? So I'm like, for example, I'm in taxes, so we use a lot of file sharing portals. but there's nothing specific for taxes. And if it would make it easier, especially going into a lot of virtual meetings and everything now, kind of like something that actually has bullet points of, well, we need this, this, and that, help the clients better understand rather than giving us everything that they have throughout the entire year.
So Alexandria, just so you know, most startups that start are built around one idea when they first start. Later, you might add multiple product lines and multiple things, but it's okay to have a very, very specific, very narrow focus in terms of product and customers when you start. In fact, it's ideal.
So like the car charger, it's kind of like it's an add-on, but
honestly, I like that idea a lot. Like that is absolutely a full business in my honest opinion. Like you're creating a project management software for accountants, right? Like that's 100% an entire business. I know actually a couple of like multi-million-dollar startups that run off of things just like that. So totally, absolutely a very big business. I like it a lot.
Didn't really have any softwares friendly with those share filing portals. I mean, for security purposes.
And I like also Max that the fact that she's it's her world, right? It's something she knows about that world, and it's always good to start companies around what you know. So
okay, yeah, I actually like that a lot. I would love to prototype something like that. I think that fits a lot. I think it's a really good example of something that could scale to really large. Could you explain to me a little bit more about what kind of data you collect and what needs to happen to make that flow a little bit easier? And then I can get a kind of a brain, because it's definitely not my world, but I would love to understand a little bit more of the brain space.
Well, it depends on the client. So we go everywhere from just, basic 1098Ts to like, we're talking about small businesses or self-employment, students. So it would kind of mold towards like you start off with what is your filing status, right? And then it can kind of give you a formation of kind of like bullet points checklist of what you need. And then you download that document into this place. And the fact it's more so that there aren't many softwares out. I don't think actually any that are compatible with those file sharing, I guess, softwares themselves.
So it would be like Dropbox. It would be like Dropbox or like a Google Docs, but specifically for tax.
Yeah, so there's a couple softwares for taxes like Drake or Lacert, and they're the main big ones, but they're not compatible whatsoever with like Citrix or Dropbox or anything like that. So if you find like a compatible, file sharing for the clients, they can directly drop it in there rather than having to use all these external sources that not necessarily trust too much.
Okay, I think I get it. So let's say, and tell me if I'm screwing this up. Let's say we need to ask, it sounds like you need to ask a series of questions, and based on those questions, you upload, you get a different set of to-do items and then a different file that you need to upload into a certain place, right?
Right.
And that helps your accountant get exactly what they need to start the meeting or go into consulting or whatever that might be. Okay, cool. That's doable. That's absolutely doable. It's going to be a little bit general because again, this isn't my brain space, but I can absolutely show you kind of the format for how something like that might function. Is everybody good with that? Because I really like this idea. I think this is super, super cool. It's going to be a bit, I'm going to make it like less kind of accountant-y because I'm bad at this and I want to make sure everybody kind of understands how to build something. But I really, really like the idea.
I think this could be an actual startup. This is a good idea.
Yeah, for just 100% could be an actual startup. I love hearing there's no software specifically for this, right? Like that is like the
start.
Yeah, that is my that triggers my entrepreneurship bone. Okay, cool. Is there Kristen says great idea. She likes that. Anybody else have any oppositions or hates, or should we just jump right into it? I'm down. It sounds like Tanya's down also, so I'm hip with that.
I got a couple.
Not seeing any hate.
Sorry, a couple more direct messages to me. Yep, I think we can go for it. So
let's do it. Awesome. So beautiful. So I'm going to, because we need to gather information and we need to collect information in different ways based on different answers. I'm probably going to want to use a really nice form software, right? Just to collect information. There's tons of different form softwares out there. Let's use JotForm. That's my personal favorite. So I'm going to log in. Log in with Google. And I'm going to share this with you. There are a bunch of different form softwares. I've seen people use, SurveyMonkey. whatever else. Google Forms usually most of the time works fine. I just really like JotForm because it has really nice, they rebranded recently. It's so cute. Okay, let's create a form. Let's start from scratch. Classic form. Let's do card form. So let's say the first question we need to ask, because again, we want this to be conditional logic. We want somebody to answer the first question, and then based on that, it goes to 3 different options. Let's say it goes to what were some of the different kind of form types?
Well, yeah, so it kind of depends with like what's your filing status. So it started those basic ones. So like the head of household, single, married, filing jointly or separately, and then like a widower.
So let's see, jointly filing, we'll say widow, whatever, individually, filing individually, and we'll leave it at those 3. Yeah, just something like that. Does that sound like a half decent start?
Yeah.
What's your current filing status? What's your current filing status? Let us know a bit about you so we can get you the right, so we can help you get on track. Something simple, right? Cool. And now we have this, right? Now I need to, let's go to settings. Let's go to conditional logic. And let's create a separate section, like 3 separate sections that we could go to based on which one they select, right? So let's go to, how do I add another page here? Let's submit, edit welcome page, edit thank you page. Add a different page. Actually, I haven't used this bit before. Let's go. And I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. I apologize because I very much am winging this as we go. Let's see. This is this. This is 1. Yeah, so I need another one. How do I get section header down here? Okay, yeah. So I think this would be 2. I go to next and it goes to the next section. Okay, yeah, here we go. So this will be jointly filing. Jointly filing. Then we'll do another section header. This will be with and this will be down here, filing individually. So this will be individually, filing individually. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Now we have 3 little sections, and in each of those, we're going to give them a series of to-do items and then a upload bit for a file, right? So once they've completed this file, they upload it, goes directly to the accountant. They're ready to help them as best they can.
Right.
So let's say we need to give them a series of items. So I just want to give them some, just paragraph. Is that a paragraph question? Yes. Okay, cool. That's just a question bit right there. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. It's giving me different, really fine type of subheader. Can I add, I want to add a question to this. Well, first, hold on. Let me set up the conditional logic. So let's go to settings, and I want to show my field, skip to, hide a page. Yeah. So if what's your current filing status, the first question, right, is equal to jointly filing, then skip to field on next button, and the field is going to be jointly filing, right? Perfect. Now we're going to add a new condition, skip to, hide a page. Same thing with the other one. So if it's equal to, not jointly filing individually, it's going to skip to filing individually. Save. If equal to whatever, skip to whatever. Boom. Okay, cool. Now we got that out of the way. That means if they answer one little bit here, if they click jointly filing, right, it will forward them to jointly filing. In this little subheader here, we'll type the series of questions. That will be, you will need to fill out a blank form. And to do that, you'll need these items. And then I'm gonna go in here, maybe I can enter, and now I wanna add maybe a bit of text, short text. Can I add that in here, or does it make me do, no, it makes me do this. You'll need these items. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I think we just need to create a file upload automatically and call those the different sections. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm gonna be done with this form because we're getting a little bit distracted, but here's the basic concept, right? We have the first little question, and it goes to a series of file uploads. And in those file uploads, we're going to call them something like widower. We're going to call them filing jointly, like we did before, filing jointly, and then filing individually. We're going to have another file upload, filing individually. Where's it going? It is not liking the third file upload, filing individually. Here we go. Individually, right? Cool. And then in this section, we're going to say, in each of these little sections, we're going to say, cool, you need to fill out a blank form. Here's what you need to do that, right? And we're going to give them a bulleted list. You need A, you need B, and you need C, right? C, D, E, right? Something like that, right? I'm going to delete each of these little sections because we decided we're not using those. We're just going to use the file upload sections as the different little bits. And the conditional logic will push you into the right space. And now on the back end, I'm going to click publish, right? I'm going to click publish, copy this link, and then all of my data, every time I send this to a potential client, right? They're going to fill out this form on my website. It's going to get sent directly to me, the accountant, and then stuff is done, right? I have all the information that I need. They've answered all those questions and they've done their homework and are prepped for our meeting, right? That's perfect, right? So now let's give them a place that they can access this form, right? I could just send this form. That could be a nice little internal kind of workflow solution. But maybe if I wanted to create a company around this, let's go build a little website. Let's go to card.co. Let's prototype that little website, make it look cute. I'll use card. Yeah, that works fine. We'll do new site. Let's find some template that looks cute enough. Not super rare product. This kind of looks good. Let's do this. Let's do this one.
Max, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, of course, please do.
This website, is this a free platform or is this an account or subscription that you have?
Great question. So I got a little bit ahead of myself. The website tool that I'm using right now is called Card. I posted it in there. So far, the only tools that we're using are JotForm, that's free. Card, also free. I think the template that I might have selected might have been a premium template. And if it is a premium template, I think you need a plan. But Card, the reason that I use Card and the reason that I usually suggest it to a lot of students is, first of all, it's very easy to learn. You'll see how easy it is to use in a second. But also, it is by far the cheapest thing that I've been able to find on the internet. So it is free. You can build 3 websites for free, and it's awesome. The paid plan, I think, is like $20 a year or something for like 10 websites. So it's really, really highly effective if you just want to find something super cheap, super accessible, easy to use, make it, and put it out there.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah. Alexandra, you had another question.
Yeah, it's just about the, what was it called? The jot form. So when you were doing the, if this then that equals that, would you have to create different, I guess, values if you wanted this to equal something else? Like, for example, if you're in this bracket, right, then you go here. Could you select multiple values, I guess? So it would be, or would I need to make each individual little thing, I guess? I don't know.
Great question. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, so let's see if I can add, yeah, it's not letting me. The card is a little bit messy, so I'd actually probably do it in the different form section. But if I go here, I'm going to go to conditional logic. I'm actually going to delete these, because we changed them. Add a new condition, skip too high to page. I would probably do complex calculations. Let's say I ask 2 questions, right? Let's say I ask first, what's your current filing status? And if it's equal to this, you can do finally jointly, skip to finally jointly, like we did before, right? But then I could also add a secondary if statement, right? So if the other question, let's add another question, something like, we'll make it something like a, yeah, we'll make it another multiple choice question. So single choice down here, single choice. This could be like, what is your current tax bracket, right? Something like that. We'll say A, B, I don't know why I can just leave these the way they are, C and D. When I go back to here, I can make deeper kind of bits. Actually, let me see if I can go to my current conditions. Discard changes, yes. New condition. I don't want to make a new condition. I just want to check my old conditions. Oh, whatever. What's your current filing status? Equal to filing individually, goes to filing individually, plus current tax bracket is equal to A. So if both of these are true, right? Let me say if all of these rules are matched, then it skips to filing individually. Or if only one of them is matched, then it skips to. So you can kind of create little complex little trees, decision trees based on what's going on. There's definitely more flexibility there if you need to ask multiple questions and direct them to the right place based on that. But it will take a bit of futzing and figuring out. But yes, JotForm definitely has that capability. Does that answer your question? Is that cool? Sweet, awesome. Sweetness. Discard changes, no, save. How do I just get to my conditions? Yeah, so this looks fine. Okay, cool. So now we have a way to make these things, right? Let's say as a business, I'm not just doing this for myself, I'm making this a tool for other people, right? For other people to use, for other accountants to use. So we made this tool, now we know how to make this tool, great. Now I'm gonna make a website to show people, hey, here is a software that helps you get the information you need out of your clients before you have those meetings. So let's call it something like, do you have a name like planned for any of this or any kind of name idea? If not, totally fine. Okay, cool, awesome. I'll come up with something dumb. We'll say, have your client meeting times, or let's say slice your client meeting times in half. Something dramatic, right? Slice your client meeting times in half. And then we'll name it something like accountingly. Something silly, just a very startup-y name. Maybe the other startup thing to do is like misspell a typical word. So it could be like no, something like it doesn't. I like accountingly. I like that more. Accountingly. Slice your client meeting times in half. Gather all the information you need from your client before the meeting ever happens. First meeting ever happens, right? Something dramatic like that, a good call line. And then we have get started. Got a few little items down here. I don't think I need this bit, so let's delete this. Want to preserve them? No, I don't. We've got another little item there. I don't think we need this bit either. Let's delete this. Let's make this a really simple little page. And then we have our pricing plans. Beautiful. And then you can sign up with an email address. That looks fun. And then the thank you page looks great. I'm going to delete the thank you page also because I don't care. Heck it. Nice. Untitled all rights reserved. We're going to change it to accountingly all rights reserved. I'm quite proud of the name now, even though I initially thought it was silly. Okay, cool. And then let's just grab let's go to noun project. Let's find some cute little item. Let's go to Canva. Let's make an icon right now and something for the home page. Noun project is a wonderful little place to buy and get wonderful little icons that I usually use for things like logos. So we'll say accounting. See if there's anything fun here. Maybe like a little form. Oh, I like this. Let's do this. Get this icon. basic download, continue, PNG. Wonderful. Now I'm going to go to Canva. Actually, maybe I can just. What if I just pop that in here? Upload. What does it look like? Does it look dumb? Now in accounting. Up here, down here. I'm actually going to cut that little bit out. We could create something better, but heck it, we'll go with it for now, right? Some little accounting bit looks fine, fun. I would make something a little bit smoother, a little bit sexier if I was taking it seriously, or I had a bit more time to do it. Let's run with it for now. Maybe we could even do like a nice, wavy, wonderful picture of a happy client or a happy accountant. I don't know, something funny. Cool. Now, get started. So at first, we could probably go through some intense kind of process of using a few little automation tools, and we'll talk about it at the end, to automatically make these forms for new accountants, right? So we have like some software as a service set up. Let's not worry about that for now. Let's just say on the baseline, we have a website. It says, hey, we'll help you create a little bit of custom software for your accounting business. And this is how we do it. We use something like Jotform. So we get in touch with a new client. They say, hey, I need this. We make it for them because it's probably going to be the same thing. We could just go to our Jotform section and do something like this, right? We have a form. It's called form. All we would do is go down here and we would probably click clone, right? We'd clone a new one for every single one of our accountant customers so they can use it in their business. Dope, right? That's the business backend. Not high tech, not insane, not crazy wild. We use a little bit of tech tools, a simple form solution to get it to the right person, right? But we need to have them be able to sign up. So let's make sure that that functions well. So we could add, some items right here. Save time. Maybe spend more time on actual accounting. Spend more time on actual accounting. The second thing could be help your clients feel more in control of the process, right? Something like that. And then value number 3, because I can't come up with a third one, right? Something like this, right? Great. We have a wonderful little section here. We're not going to put anything here. The pricing will maybe be, let's say, this will be pro plan. This will be something like starter plan, right? Or no, actually, this will be maybe, let's say, sole proprietor.
Yeah, like business and individual or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe this will be like agency plan, right? So like an accounting agency as opposed to an individual. Beautiful. I like it a lot. And this will be, let's say for an agency, since they'll be larger, maybe they have like approximately 10 accountants using it. We'll say like $7.99 per month. And then for this simple one, it'll just be $49 per month, right? Something like that. I like it. Actually, that wouldn't make sense if it's 10. I miscalculated. We'll say $4.99. Oh wait, that's not a discount though. If it's 10, never mind. Whatever. We'll run with this. Doesn't really matter. We would talk to customers. We would actually figure out how much they're paying for similar software, and we would price it at a reasonable, approximate, competitive rate, right? But I like it. I like it a lot. An individual accountant versus an agency. And we'll say something like hook up your entire agency, entire company with time saving tools. Great. And this will be speed up your personal business with speed up your personal business. Heck it, I'm overthinking this, right? Some little bits now, buy now, great, love it, awesome. Now, because again, this is us, on the back end. We're Wizard of Ozing it. This is a pretendo type, right? This is kind of like halfway in the middle, right? It's kind of a solution, but it's not completely automated like a SaaS product or anything fancy. The step that we're going to need to have in the middle is they get in contact with us. We hop on a call with them. We figure out, we make sure that what they need is a jot form, or maybe like we've made 5 different versions of that form that help for different kinds of businesses, right? Maybe different types of accountants, or they have different clientele. We need to learn a bit more about them, right? And that probably starts with a call. You're probably going to want to talk to every single one of your individual customers in the beginning anyway. So let's just make it easy for them to schedule a call with us, right? This button, Get Started, will go to let's go to calendly.com. We'll go to my Calendly, which is a very, very simple scheduling tool, right? I send this to people. I signed up, I logged in, I made an account, and now I have my own personal link, calendly.com/Max Mirho, that I send to people where they can click 30-minute call and they can go and find some time on my calendar, right? That's what we want to do with our first clientele. So I'm going to go and say calendly.com is where it's going to link. And of course, it would be my personal Calendly account. But that's where we're going to link on our website, right? So Get Started. Get Started will maybe link to, let's say it links to the pricing, because we want to make sure they're looking at the pricing and understanding that before they get started. So we'll add a section. Let's go into control. Let's add a section right here, right? Section 1. This is just a section break. Maybe it's a scroll point. We want it to be a scroll point. So scroll point 1, awesome, done. When they click Get Started, it goes to scroll point 1. Hashtag scroll. Hashtags are the way that Card understands different pieces of the website, right? So awesome. That looks beautiful. Wonderful. How does this look on mobile? Accountingly, slash your meal range 10.5. Get started. Scroll down. Values. Awesome. $49 per month. $399 per month. Buy now. Buy now. That looks good on mobile as well. I like that a lot. So now this Get Started button works. And now let's make sure our Buy Now buttons work. We're just going to link it to our Calendly, right? That's all. URL is going to be calendly.com. HTTPS. Calendly.com. Boom, looks great, done. Go into here, same thing, done. Double check that those are working. Yes, beautiful. That sounds great for a nice little prototype. I mean, I would fill in a bit more information here, right? But this looks solid. And then maybe down here we'll say sign up for product updates, and maybe we'll just say our newsletter. Our newsletter, sign up for product updates and tips on how to save time in your accounting business, right? And then maybe we can link that to a MailChimp or some other little newsletter tool, and then we can do a little bit of email marketing afterwards if people come and sign up but don't actually schedule a call with us. Whatever, fine. Accountingly, save time in your accounting business. I'm publishing the website right now. The title is Accountingly. The description is Save Time in Your Accounting Business. Accountingly.card.co. Is it available? Please? Dang it. Accountingly sites. No, that's lame. Accountingly. Say L-E-E. Is that available? It's not available. People are picking the same names as me. That's very funny. Accountingly sign up.card.co, but that's available, huh? It's not. How am I picking the same names as everybody else? Accountingly 1. Is that cheap? It is cheap, but it's gonna work, I'll bet. So you'd obviously want to check before doing any of this. Accountingly 4? Somebody's been experimenting with Accountingly the name. How about we pick a different name entirely? 3.14159. 3.14159. I don't think I can put. It's not about. Something's weird. Something's weird. Is it not like Accountingly or something? Interesting. Maybe it's having some issues elsewhere. whatever, this doesn't matter. How about that? All right, heck it. You'd find a name that matters, right? This is just a little pseudo URL. It's something.card.co. You might have seen like there are a lot of popular like Instagram bio links that people would share during the BLM protests, things like that, like blacklivesmatter.card.co. There are a lot of little websites that were built on card. So people do recognize .card.co as like a reasonable domain name, but you could still plug in actual domains via like a custom domain button right here. Whatever, we just want to get something out there. Whatever, this doesn't matter. Very relevant. For some reason, it did not like accountingly. I don't understand why. We're going to view the site and boom. Slice your client meetings in half. Get started. Scrolls down to the pricing section. Looks beautiful. We click buy now and boom, it forwards to our calendar, right? And then we know that as soon as we hop on a call with somebody, an accountant or an accounting agency, we go to our form in Jotform. We first interview them, understand what they need, and then we set them up with a form. So we'd probably go into here and we would, let's see, share as template, right? We'd share as a template. We'd get them hooked up with it. They probably have never seen Jotform in their life before, but we make a really awesome, substantial template form that they can use and apply immediately. It takes them 10 minutes to set up. It's beautiful. It's awesome. We help them as best we can. And then they pay us, however much per month. And let's go a little bit into the deeper kind of tech side, if we wanted to automate this in the future or connect this with other tools, kind of like you were saying, Alexandra, right? I would go to a tool called Zapier, right? Zapier is a wonderful little automation tool that just lets you control a whole bunch of different things. So we're going to connect those job forms that we made to different bits. So let's go connect jot form, right? Jot form's right there, beautiful. And we're going to connect it with, let's say, the backend, or maybe what tools would you typically use to kind of manage data? Maybe we could just use Google Drive or something like that. But where would you like all that information from those forms to end up? You could use Jotform, or is there anything that you currently use?
Well, we use like DMS, or that's what it's called. And or also Citrix, but like I said, it doesn't actually integrate with the tax and accounting software. So
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So in that case, let's just put it in a nice database that's easy to access and pushed everywhere else.
yeah, Google Drive is good.
Google Drive? Okay, cool. Yeah. The two that I would probably recommend would be either Google Drive for sure. Google Drive's wonderful. And then Airtable. Airtable is it's like Google Sheets on like steroids. You can actually have files in cells. Like it's got a lot of really, really cool stuff and it's really easy to work with if you have a lot of data. Let's just go with Google Drive for now though, to keep it nice and simple. Google Drive. Beautiful. Make a zap. Now we're going to automate the interaction between those two things. So I'm going to go to my form actually, and I'm going to rename this form. Can I? Yes, I can rename it. This is accountingly, right? Accountingly is the form, right? This is the form. Let's edit the form, making sure this is the right one. I'm 99% sure. Yes, sweet. So it is accountingly. Beautiful, wonderful. So in Jotform, trigger a new submission, right? Let's see, when a new submission happens, let's continue. We're going to sign into Jotform. So I'm going to quickly load this up and I'm going to sign into Jotform. HIPAA compliant, yes, and no. Continue. Allow. Cool. Continue. Now it's going to set up the trigger. The form is going to be accountingly, right? When accountingly has a new submission, as we defined up there, then you test the trigger, fine. Then something happens in Google Drive, right? You create a folder. Great. Sign to Google Drive. I would sign to Google Drive, do the whole thing, whatever, but you get the point. And it's anytime a new submission in Jotform happens, and we would create a new little Zapier automation here. Anytime a new submission happens in one of our Jotforms, it forwards to our Google Drive. And maybe we would create different folders or different sections for each one of our clients and customers. Maybe we would create a little tutorial on how each of our customers could set up their own Google Drive thing, and maybe we just create our own and we share it. Regardless, the data is all shared with them. Beautiful, wonderful, awesome. It all goes into the place that they typically use after the job form is filled out. Great. So that's one way we could automate it. Another thing that I wanted to mention, there might actually be, so trigger event. I wonder if we can actually create, no, we can't. Okay, cool. I was wondering if we could like create a whole new jot form based on a trigger. It doesn't seem like jot form has that functionality. But there are ways to do that. There are like programming backends for jot form. So there are ways we could totally automate it in the future if we didn't have to build out our own entire thing. But that's something we could do. Great, whatever, fun. Is this making sense to anybody? Am I just blabbing? Is this kind of like, is this reasonably coherent? Because we're basically done with a business. We have the website, looks cool, looks great, functions nicely. You click the right place, you have pricing, and you click there. The accountant goes to you, schedule a meeting, you talk with them, and you get them set up on JotForm. We've created a wonderful form on JotForm that does everything in terms of data collection for the accountant's clientele, right? I lost you for a bit. I'm back. What's up, Tanya? How's it going? We're basically done. You came back at the perfect time. Website, hook them up, connect them to JotForm, share a JotForm with them, right? Share that as a template so they can get it set up. Maybe we add some Zapier functionality on the back end, and then we charge them $50 per month, maybe with PayPal, right? We set up a little recurring invoice on PayPal for them to pay once we get them set up with this awesome thing. Yeah.
You know,
Have a little
this is,
website.
I love it. I go away. It's like when you go away at a restaurant to use the restroom or something, you come back and your food is there. You're back and the business is there. Right. I love it. No, this is digital bricolage. This is taking what's out there, piecing it together, building a company out of it. And these are the kind of companies that will grow fast. They have a higher probability of actually making money starting. And these are the kinds that I see again and again hit the ground and head upwards. So good job. This is awesome. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm glad, Alexandria, that you proposed this idea, and Max, you made it happen. But I want to make sure that there's we're almost out of time, but that there is a time for any comments or questions from the audience. Like, what did you guys think? Was this what you thought of when you thought of building a business from scratch?
I kind of blurred through this also. So if anybody got lost or it didn't make sense or something that I was doing was a little bit over your head, please let me know. I would love to re-explain something or go into something deeper or anything like that. So I appreciate the patience, but we basically are done, right? You could publish this tomorrow if you spent like maybe an hour more fixing a few little details, right?
Yeah. Honestly, like this, well, it's amazing. It's awesome. And go ahead. I see a couple of people ready to talk. Angela?
I had a quick question, Max. How would we integrate e-commerce into the site? Is that a functionality that's possible?
That's part of the selling of the charging, but you're talking about selling things individually in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So something like maybe like a t-shirt, do you mean, or do you mean the product itself, they buy it on the website? Yeah,
if they were going to do like a subscription or a t-shirt or some type of product.
Well,
would
so the product itself is right there, like what he's talking about, charging it, but you're talking about a product on top of it, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to charge either for the tool directly on the website, so they click buy now and they pay, or if you wanted to add like maybe merchandise for accounting layer or anything else, any other like little other products, I would use a tool called Gumroad. I absolutely adore Gumroad. Basically, just like we set up a form in JotForm, you walk through a couple little steps and it creates a payment page, all done for you, and it gives you a little link just like we had with JotForm. That money that goes in goes directly to your bank account. Everything's done for you. It's beautiful. They take a small percentage off the top.
I think that's what you're asking more, Angela, now that I know why you're asking, but yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you asked that question because I've been wanting to do that with the other our web pages. So this is awesome. Alexandria, did you have a question? You look like your hand up or no?
I think Austin has a question.
Oh, it's Austin. Okay.
Austin, what's up?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. What are some other, because I know the Zapier is like for automation, but what other automation can you do through that website?
Great. So through Zapier, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, great question. So what was one of the bigger ones that I did? It's literally limitless. Like one of the things that I'm going to work on right now or work on soon, I have a little idea for like I'm going to create my own personal little tool for a invoice creator. So every time that I deal with a new I'm growing on TikTok, and every time a new like company reaches out to me and they're like, hey, can you make a TikTok about our company? I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's an invoice, and I have to make an invoice, and then I have to like custom little like put a bit of little information in. I have to edit a Word document and then export it to a PDF, and then I have to email it to them, and it's a little annoying, right? And I'm planning on making a Zap in Zapier, or it's Zapier. It's actually Zapier. I recently did some TikToks for Zapier. But I could make one where anytime, let's create a Zap. Anytime I click a button or a form in Coda, which is my little workspace tool that I use. So anytime there's a new row, I want to go to Google Docs and I want to create a document from a template, right? So it actually just automatically creates a document and import, like just downloads it for me, right? And I could create a little Google Doc template that automatically fills a bunch of information in based. So I would just fill out a little form like date, time, item name, click enter, and using Zapier, it would automatically go to a Google Doc, create a template, and give me that little document. So I don't have to upload, export, go to Word, open Word, like I don't have to do any of that. It's just automatically done for me. And I'm personally going to make that for myself, right? But there's millions of things you can do with this. There's thousands of tools on it, and you can connect them all together. Yeah.
You could also do like just what you're saying there, Max, and could maybe even skip a step by putting it in forms instead. And because I've done that before, where you use like Google Forms, or is that what it's called? Google Forms? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do so many things with it. I love it.
It's wonderful. Yeah. I actually should get better at the Google Doc templates because they're really useful for creating documents.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah. Great question. Thank you. Oh, also let me link Zapier because I didn't before. I will also link Canva. We were going to use Canva to design a little logo. We decided to just go with the cute little icon.
Hey,
we could zhuzh it up a bit, but it's fine for now.
Yeah, perfection is the enemy of progress, right?
I agree.
Once a day at least. So yeah, I love it. Just to get it out there, get it done. So good. Okay, so it looks like we're just about out of time. I wanted to thank everybody once again for coming. Thank you, Max, for always just great workshops and showing people that you can launch companies very quickly. And I don't want anybody to think that these are little companies, because they're not. You don't spend months coding or hours and hours beating your head against the wall. These companies have just as much chance of being big as any other, and if not more,
Yeah.
because you're able to do it quickly. So love it. Thank you, Max.
Heck
Thank
yeah,
you,
of course.
Yeah, it was great seeing everybody. We'll see you at the next workshop. And don't forget to check out the videos that we have already created on our YouTube channel. And have a great night, everybody. I'll see you at Startup Month, right? Lots of workshops and things going on there too. So
I think so. Yeah, I think I would love to attend. So I think I have all those on my calendar.
I actually have a ticket for you, Max. And if anybody else needs a ticket, stick around and talk. All right, bye everyone. Take care.
There, I think Austin asked one little thing about my Twitch